attacking Big Daddy D-Roy, the Canadian gangster, with some pretty gangsterous actions and some strength, lifting a 350-pound D-Roy. But D-Roy looks like he got some of that, or all of that. Sheldon looks like he maybe hit his shoulder off the ring a bit, but right off the bat, Big Daddy D-Roy. This is the way, if you want to incapacitate your opponent, this is the way to do it.
Sheldon G, I've said this about this guy so many times, wise beyond his years in wrestling, knew that he had to take any advantage whatsoever to catch Big Daddy D-Roy early. Showed a lot of power, a lot of impressive power as the Canadian gangster is standing tall, jaw-jacking with people, jaw-jacking with us, guys.
And Adam B, though, do you think his pro wrestling Noah mentors were the show favorite to his kind of attitude that he's showing nowadays? I'm pretty sure he didn't learn this at the dojo.
But he learned how to win a match, that's for sure. And he realized, I can't let the big guy get comfortable, get settled. I gotta catch him off guard. I gotta move in quick. And Sheldon G, for a guy that spent so much time away from wrestling, dealing with injuries, pandemic, ever since his comeback, he's just shown he's gotten better and better, even after a layoff.
Well, look at Sheldon. Every time we see him, he's in better physical conditioning, better sort of just overall physique. And I mean, with the size difference that I usually say Big Daddy D-Roy has over his opponents, he doesn't have that much taller height. He doesn't have that much bigger shoulder length. I mean, obviously the weight's still in his favor as well. But Sheldon G matches up much closer than a lot and the majority of his opponents, especially here at Seaway Valley Wrestling.
Well, you'd have to think, Adam B, Dr. Bob, in a usual situation in a match, Sheldon G usually goes in as the biggest guy in the match. Yep. He is tall, he is built, he's very, very muscular and strong, clearly able to lift D-Roy, lots of power under there.
And that old school wrestling maneuver, the cravat. Pump kick, not getting the advantage he wanted over his larger opponent. But he's got to stick with his strikes here and his speed. Sunset flip. Bad position.
Speed, but you got to put up with that power. Luckily, the quickness of Gene able to get him out of the way of D-Roy and the impact in that maneuver.
Sheldon with some ground and pound to Big Daddy D-Roy, maybe looking to bust him up with those elbows. I mean, Sheldon G, there's a reason he's been looked at by some upper leagues. He's competed against some of the best that Impact TNA has to offer. Guys like Jonathan Gresham and spending a lot of time. Josh Alexander teaming with a guy like Kenny King. Who's definitely raised his stock in TNA, but taking his time returning to Cornwall, Seaway Valley Wrestling, looking to put away the near unstoppable Big Daddy D-Roy.
Well, we also haven't talked about the fact that this is Big Daddy D-Roy's crowd. When he comes here and the fans erupt, and having that crowd support here gives you that extra little edge. Yes, he may be on TV. Yes, he may face some of the best wrestlers in the world, but this is his crowd right here in D-Roy.
Lest we forget, Daddy D-Roy was the Seaway Valley Wrestling inaugural heavyweight champion almost 2 years ago, over 2 years ago at this point. The title taken off of him by the man who is now the #1 contender, Aiden Prince. It's almost difficult to determine who's more popular here in Cornwall, whether it be Big Daddy D-Roy or Aiden Prince. And if those two meet up again in the future, who's going to win that popularity?
I'm looking forward to that matchup, so let me book it.
Back into the action.
Corner to corner, D-Roy with the splashes, and these are working.
This is where
belly suplex goes for the pin, perhaps.
Just has the pin here on Gene, and this is where D-Roy wants Sheldon at this moment. Sheldon Gene in firm control at the beginning of the match, obviously using everything to his advantage to take out D-Roy before the match. But in the middle of it now, D-Roy calling for that choke slam, calling for that finisher. But Gene on the offense, pulling his nose.
We've seen a lot of people go to the eyes, the face here tonight. Sheldon Gene continuing the trend by going to the nose, cutting off the breathing of Big Daddy D-Roy to break free from that massive choke slam that's won countless matches for Big Daddy. Charges in, You gotta admit though, Sheldon Jean coming in here, not intimidated by the size, he's taking his lumps, but still keeps coming. And Big Daddy gets slammed.
Well, the cover here from Daddy D-Roy. Powering out defiantly still from Sheldon Jean. When Daddy D-Roy's in control like this, it is a frightening situation. But as you said, Sheldon Jean not showing that fear, staying in it. And normally in a match, this is when Daddy D-Roy has his game plan set. But he is not used to facing an opponent like Sheldon Jean. Someone so defiant, someone so unwilling to lay down for him.
Went for broke, brought Big Daddy's throat down over the top. Bro pulls him to the outside, but impressed with the strength of Sheldon Jean over Big Daddy.
However, as we said, this is Big Daddy's area. This is the Cornwall crowd. We have chants of Who's Your Daddy? That is Big Daddy D-Roy here in Cornwall, adding insult to injury with the boot on Jean on the outside as referee Brian Renda calls us to get back in.
Sends him inside, breaks that 10 count. D-Roy doesn't want to win this one by count out. He wants Sheldon Jean in. He wants to choke slam him. He wants to get that 1, 2, 3. And Jean looking very worn down at this point. Trying to catch his breath, trying to regain his senses. Who's your daddy? It's Big Daddy D-Roy.
Wow! Back. Sheldon had that well guarded.
No!
Moves in, gets caught, however.
Can he reverse it a second time? Yes, he does. Axe kick.
Rocks. Big Daddy Sheldon takes him down in the second attempt.
Almost.
It is a Christmas miracle. Daddy D-Roy kicking out at the last second here with Sheldon Jean, keeping the Christmas spirit alive in the hopes and hearts of people.
That's not very Christmas-like, trying to choke him.
I mean, maybe it's a Christmas choke. It's festive.
You've never been to a Belanger at Christmas, Dr. Bob.
I don't know if I want an invite. Said leveling. Sheldon Jean with a spear.
Some of those Pictionary games have gotten heated over years. I won't go into too much detail as
the
powers up, slams him.